struggling a bit. Let me
I'm
save
getting
me.
up until you're ready when you're so optimism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Welcome to the live session. We are looking at a full BTC pullback.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like everybody sold the news. Can you guys see my screen there?
Yeah. Nope.
Let's pull this up for you. So we had an interesting pullback yesterday. We were looking for we wanted 26,800 to 26,600. We weren't being too greedy. We wanted somewhere around that area to hold, to remain bullish. We based a lot of our moves up on these alts based on BTC holding those levels. We lost some of them. We did catch the DYDX short. We did catch the Joe short, which we're going to talk about. And now, once again, as you can see, guys, we got BTC pull back into that tight little range that was annoying us about a week or two ago, and sitting on a 618 and trying to bounce once again. So where does that leave us now? Like, looking at this situation, I'm trying to get my head around things, and I'm going through some of these altcoins in the same situation time and time again. We see BTC on a 618, and we're seeing alts on support zones. We're seeing alts sitting on their fibs, and it's starting to smell like a short-term bounce. And before you guys jumped in, we were talking about potential opportunities to look for shorts on any moves up. We don't know how big these moves are going to be. We can try and guess. And it's an opportunity to exit some positions if you're still long. So, you know, David, for example, I got stopped on the Phantom yesterday. David's still in his Phantom, so he's going to tell you guys how he's playing that now from like a psychological point of view and how he's going to manage that trade. But I think, yeah, he's going to be looking for a potential exit or to cut on any pumps. But yeah, guys, so I mean, nothing to report other than Dixie pumping, BTC fully pulled back. We've got some interesting tweets here. There was this SEC news, they delayed all these spot applications. So the Wolf of Wall Street, Scott Melker, he wasn't happy about that. That obviously was a bit of a catalyst. Will Clemente is quite upset. We've lost the 200-day, we've lost the 200-week MA, which was such a nice area for us that we were looking at. Benjamin Cowan's going around telling everyone he told them so. You saw after the Ripple pump, he's quite proud of himself. So after the Ripple pump, you saw what happened after Ripple, and he came and he said, look, this is the same result's going to happen here. And we were sitting on this live a few days ago saying, awesome, we got the pump, but now what's going to push this thing for us? What's going to drive it? And nothing came. There was no good news that came to give us that next move. So unfortunately, we are now sitting back in the 618 zone, and this is decision time for us. Do we play this as bounce areas for short-term moves up? The scalpers maybe licking their lips here, thinking we get a short-term move, or do we sit back, do nothing, let it push up, and let's look for some solid short zones? So these are the type of questions we're going to ask ourselves now while we go through these charts. So guys, jump in at any time. I'm going to bring up some of these alts in the meantime. So just to recap, this is resistance for BTC, the 382, the same one that came into play before. This is the old 382 pool, by the way, guys. So we'll have to readjust this one now, but this was the old pool from that area. You can see where I got that high. It was this guy. Okay, so that was before the pump, but we're back in the same area. Resistance zones, and we're looking to play these bounces, and then we get these wicks that they could come for us there. So we do need to be aware of these wicks. We can't ignore them completely. So these are sort of zones that we're looking at. This was our main area that we wanted to hold. We didn't get it, and now we have to look at all these alts and see where we are. So here is Injective. I've just taken a zoom out. Some of them I've re-looked at. Some of them I've zoomed out completely. Just a new perspective here. This is Injective. Nothing needs to be done here right now for me. I want to see this thing drift down lower, settle down into this 786 region, maybe around the 200-day, which is what we wanted before. You know, and I think it's time to sit back and wait. if anything changes in this time period, we have the trend line we can use as our guide, and we can plan a new trade. If things turn bullish on injective, we can plan a new long there. Okay, so we'll get the break, we can get a retest, we can play it that way. But for now, right now, where injective is for me, there's no trade here. AVAX was an interesting one. I've highlighted a weekly support zone, and I've stuck an alarm here for you guys, because this is if we get a move down in the next few days, like a nice fast move, this will be an area that I'd be very interested in looking for a bounce at about 9.4. So there's an alarm here for you guys on Discord. But let's not ignore the fact that while BTC is sitting on support, AVAX is sitting here in this support band. So based on what we're looking at BTC, if you're looking for a trade and you're looking for a scalp, balance of probabilities, we've got BTC on support, we've got these alts sitting on support. I'm not in a position right now. I got stopped on Phantom. I'm not looking for a long right now in these areas, but what we see in front of us is support. If we get a move, I don't think it's going to be very high, but again, we don't know what's going to happen on a weekend, for example. But you know, you could look at something up to trend, maybe, and then you'd have to reassess, or at least look for a TP zone there. So yeah, but what we see, support on the 8-hour here for AVAX. This is a daily support area.
Yeah.
Optimism.
And Dylan, if you zoom in on it, like I'm on the 15-minute on that same chart, you watch its reaction in that area. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. What you got circled there is what I've been watching.
So they might come and give us this opportunity there before they send us up. So it's the scalpers there. You can look out for something like this. You might actually get a nice move if you want to zoom in and play that game in that area. Yeah, it could be nice. You could get a move there.
Yeah. The thing that Optimism. I'm looking at is you're as likely to get one of those wicks, which knocks you out of the park in 6 seconds, as a pump.
Yeah, you just need to play. You need to play things cautiously here. Things are very tricky. Optimism. We had an inverse. I mean, we had a regular head and shoulders formation that I was eyeing out. We rejected on that trend and the 50-day MA. We are now in a support zone. It's a 618 pull, and if we pull up BTC, we can see BTC is trying to sit on the 618. So you need to make a call as to how you want to play this. I'm not taking a long here at this point. I'd like to see lower, really. So if we get a push up, we can look for something there on the way down. Otherwise, let's see what happens. I'm starting to really like the look of this area down here. 1.18. Next option, if things turn uber bullish in the next while, we can play these trends very easily. There's no rush. Okay, so if you miss the first move, it doesn't actually matter. We can catch it later. Let's look at DYDX. So this was an interesting one. They really put us under pressure here. This short, because they pushed it beyond the 200-day, but it did play out eventually. So this is what they do. If shorting was this easy, that you could pick your area and not sweat, well, trading would be a different game. So they pushed this really to the limits on DYDX. But if you kept your stop below these areas here that we highlighted, you should have got a decent move there. 8.2% so far. So that was interesting. And it might not be done. So, you know, I want to see what happens here at this region, 382. Let's see if we get a reaction. Otherwise, this is the next area. So right now, if you are in the short, you can de-risk. We're almost at a TP zone, the 382. And there is an alarm here. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay, so there's an alarm there for that area because you could get a bounce in that zone. So let's see what happens when it drops into there. GRT, you would have got your alarm already. I had an alarm here on the 618. So we could play this very simply. You could look at this and say, okay, well, we're in a range. We're in a range from, when was this high? The 20th of August. You could look for a range play here. Let's pull up the regular stock. And what have we got? We got the 8 hour still wants to come down, so that's not a good sign. We've got the 4 hours at bottom, but you guys know that I like to see this type of move of the stock at the bottom before we go to the next one. So I'm not convinced on GRT here at this range low. 1 hour still coming down, so we could get some more downside. So let's see how that plays out. The stock could also reset while GRT just ranges here. Okay, so it doesn't mean that it needs to go down more. It could just reset while it just does that. Could play games and then move up again. So we need to make these decisions as to how we play these. When you look at this, Bruce, what are you seeing?
Either going to bounce there and at that support level, except that wick down below, he's been thinking that there's either a lot of liquidity there to push back up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it follows your wiggly line there and then bounces quickly back up.
So, I mean, the positives for it is we are sitting in this order block here, this Lux Algo, and we're on a 618. So, negatives, there's a whole heavy sentiment in this market here. So let's look at BTC again. Let's see how we're doing. We're holding here for now. Okay, 618. Okay, curve. I brought this up just as a interesting token for you guys. There's been a lot of FUD about curve, and you can see what the type of levels we're hitting here. We're reaching these weekly lows from, I mean, this is October 2020, pretty much when this project was brand new, it looks like. So if we get it moved down into the 0.38 area, I'm quite interested in this thing. Maybe not a very high leverage trade, but I think for the spot buyers there or low leverage situation, if you get yourself into this area down here, it could be very interesting. And you can see there's this little channel coming down, so maybe we get a little move into there. So that could be quite a nice one, guys. So see the size of this thing, 43% to the top of that channel. So let's see how curve plays out, but I like this region. This is a very strong area. Let's take a look at Link. Link is just ridiculous. I mean, how's this move? Straight into resistance, straight down into the support zone. So here we are again, selling the resistance. So it's amazing the way it's playing in these two little zones here. So the bears are short here. Any push up, get a nice push up here, nice green. You can look for shorts there. The bulls in this area, this is not your long area. Your long area is on a retest of support. Okay, it's quite interesting, this Link, because Link's pushing. The other guys are sitting on these supports now. So Link's one to watch. But bull time, if you want to be long, break it first, get your support, then be long. Other than that, this is a bear zone. We're in rejection country again. And, you know, based on what we see, resistance, there's a fib issue here as well. So right from this zone, I'm leaning towards a move lower, and then we can see what happens after that. Yes, Trader Joe.
A question, Dill. Even if you're bullish on a particular token right now, for the most part, if Bitcoin continues to leak downwards like that, would you feel confident in taking long even in support? Would you want to wait?
Look, Link's behaving differently to the others that we've looked at, AVAX, etc. So this might be something where you'd want to zoom in a little bit, zone in 15 minutes, hour, look at that, see how that's playing out. It is doing its own thing right now. So I'd like to see, if Link broke up, I'd probably buy that support. If Link broke up, I would say the rest of the market is also okay or holding on. I see DOT alarms just gone off.
Yeah.
DOT must be going deep now, guys. Okay, this could be going very deep here. Okay, we're going to look at DOT now. Okay, so DOT has now hit the depths of this weekly area. Look at that. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. Okay, so I love these weekly areas where we've got multiple touches. There's a nice solid one. Okay, so this is a strong area for dot. Okay, the next main zone for dot is 3.8. I see Kyle's also quite bearish on dot. Kyle dropped a tweet earlier saying he's also looking for lower on dot. So it's 9% to this next area, this 3.8. You can see why I like this. All these weekly buys here. This is weekly candles. Okay, it's a nice zone. So if we do get in here, I really like this. I think we'll get a nice move from there. Yeah. Where am I with dot right now? I don't have high conviction, to be honest. It is a support zone, but this candle looks horrible, and I'd like to see something just form here first before I commit to anything. We need to see what it's going to give us. If it just breaks down, then you get your short in. You can also zoom in. So if you lose that level and you're on the 15 minutes, you can get that retest on the 15 and play it out like that. I'll let David maybe explain one or two of those examples for you guys. So yeah, big area here for dot, guys. If this is lost, it's going to open up this 3.8 region. So keep your eyes on that. Let's look at fetch. You were going to do, Bruce. You got fetch, eh?
No, I don't have fetch.
Okay. Okay, so fetch was an interesting one. Are you looking for a short, eh?
Yeah, I mean, you have it pulled up, like right there at the resistance line. I've got an alert set at 0.25.
Oh, up here. Okay, lovely. Yeah. So if we get that move up, guys, so fetch, we just had, this is the fetch 8 hour. We had the trend break the other day. It held the support beautifully, pushed up. Now we're looking for this retest. I've got an alarm here for you over here. So if we get that ping, it might be a long on support. And then there looks like there could be a nice opportunity up here. Maybe we get the double top and we could get a short situation there. Okay, so Dave, 0.25. Are you in this band?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
There's a weekend pump on that. Let's get short.
It could easily, yeah. So we don't know what's going to happen this weekend. Both ways are possible. Joe, how cool was this, guys? Straight into the 200-day, straight into the trend, short. Hey, wasn't this beautiful? It was a risky play because of the size of the candle, but as it turns out, Joe was launched on a new exchange, I think in Korea, whatever, and they bought the hype. And I mean, when you guys see it pinging an area like this, the trend and the 200-day, which, I mean, we hadn't charted this thing in ages, but we had that trend there, and this 200-day, to me, it was just screaming rejection. So that was a good one. And a massive move. Look at this thing, and it might not be done. I mean, it had a 25% from that rejection zone up there. So let's see. It might provide another opportunity. If it pushes up again, there might be another opportunity here. So let's keep our eyes on this over the next few days and see. Maybe we get some more out of this Joe situation. Matic, I didn't cover Matic. So Matic, the best case scenario I could find here was a push up and a possible short scenario for us, but I see now it's bleeding down into this area now. So there's no trade here. You know, I wouldn't want to jump into anything here right now. Let's look a bit lower. So we got this last big wick over here from June. That's something to look at. 0.52 could maybe try and catch something. I mean, the best case scenario here in these type of situations is to, you know, to sell the strength. So in a perfect world, we get the push up. Let's just turn this. Let's just turn this around for you guys. Jeez, this market's bleeding nicely. So we wanted this proper retest. So you get the break, then you get a proper retest. The 618 was quite deep. The 382 would have been a little bit higher, probably about there. So that would have been the ideal zone. Then to look for short situations. Let's turn it back around. Okay, so Matic, yeah, there's no move here for me right now. We need to let this thing just play out. And then I've got uni for you guys. We haven't spoken about this in a while. There was this yellow line I've marked out. So as you can see, I've put uni in this little channel here, making its way down. You can see it seems to be in a defined range over there. We've now lost that range. So I'm quite excited about any moves up from uni. We can look for something here to short, and maybe just send it a little bit lower. There was some bullish divergence here on uni down here. If we look at this area. Okay, so this is the 8 hour. So the price is coming down, the oscillator's turning up, and it's normally a sign that it's a reversal could be on its way. So that was one to watch, because then you might, I mean, if things really play out, you could maybe get the top of that channel before it comes back down. So let's watch that. If we zoom out, let's see where our next area is. So it's deep, guys. It's deep. We're looking.
Dylan,
Yeah.
you asked me to interrupt you if I was taking a Tomo trade live.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
interrupting
Let's
you.
do it. Are you short? Are you long? What are you doing?
No,
Let's go.
no, long.
Let's do it,
hold on.
guys.
I'll show you.
Pull it up.
It's
Okay,
a
Tomo
little on the
trade
risky
incoming.
side. So, hey guys, risky, but I like it. Okay. So,
Oh, here we go.
in a range, blah, 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 the usual stuff over there. And what it did is it very slowly broke above that. It did what Sheldon calls an SR flip, right? Broke and retested horizontal support. So this could just be a divergence, which it's going to stop out. But if it behaves properly, this could be the beginnings of breakup and start to head into that part of the range.
It's a break of resistance, turn resistance into support.
Yep.
And we go. That's great. I'm so glad Tomo is at least doing something here. That's awesome.
Yep. So we'll see. It's the candles are really, I don't know how to describe it, like non-committal. Like, I'm usually looking for candles that are, they're clear. You know what that candle means. You know what those candle means. This stuff right over here, where it just sort of leaks in a direction, it's harder to read, but a break and retest, it's kind of pretty clear. So I'm giving it a shot. Pretty tight stop loss on this one. I'm on the 15 minutes, so you can see it. But I've got my stop right below that red wick, 3 15-minute candles back, right below this. So I've got a stop that's in the 1.18% range. So I'm either going to be right or I'm going to be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I get out with a little loss and then wait for the next setup. But so far, so good.
So, guys, this is like a textbook play. We keep it so simple here. We're breaking old resistance. We're turning it into support. We can see there's a trend break there. You're ticking a lot of boxes here. That RSI is bottomed out. That's stochastic. So, if you're a trader, here's a trade setup for you. Okay, this is a good one, Bruce.
You're very welcome.
What else you got there?
I've been watching Soul, and I'm really like by all stretch of imagination, just like the other ones you were showing. I mean, you clearly have liquidity down here, right? Every time price comes into this region, it gets a clear, solid rejection. And in normal times, I would go, sure, it's there again, it should reject. I'm just watching the market right now, and it's not like it's moving strongly, but with Bitcoin's continuing to leak, it's down at 25.8 and change now. So I'm going to watch Soul, and I'll give up the ghost if it breaks below those levels there. Then I'll kind of write this off for now and see where it's going to go next, which is likely down to 18.4, which kind of sucks, but that seems to be what's next in the cards. But if Bitcoin shows any signs of life over here, then I'll consider taking a pretty small, kind of a scalpish long in this area.
Yeah, we must keep an eye on dominance here, because I see BTC just bleeding through that 618, and it might want to come and test this wick at 25.6. So we must just take a look at dominance.
This chart's exactly like Soul, right? You got liquidity down here. It's leaking back into it. how's it going to react if this liquidity, if
Mm.
this candle didn't eat all the liquidity there, then we'll get a reaction, right? We got a long trend line that'll bounce off of, and it'll be good. But for right now, yeah, I'm
I
just
think,
I'm just
yeah, we
hesitant
might
with it.
get confirmation on a reversal in the next few minutes.
Mhm.
So, you know, it's bleeding, but we want to see that sharp move down. Dave,
Yep.
Dave, take us through this. Take us through how we're
Yeah,
going to
I would love to see that.
Dave
I mean,
explains this
basically,
very well.
pattern right there would be ideal for me, but I don't see it yet.
Yeah, you want me to talk about which token, or you mean?
Well,
Yeah.
let's look at BTC, and are we looking for a sharp move down to this wick? So maybe just take everyone through how you would play this this move down.
Sure.
Do you want to use my chart? Or are you happy with yours?
Yeah, I can show mine. You guys see that?
Yep.
So one thing I was paying attention to is this little range that we were in. We had the breakout, you know, the moving average, everybody's bullish. And we were looking for 26.6, some kind of reaction there. We didn't get the reaction. So right now I'm bearish. That is a bearish thing for me. You know, if we were kind of like at the top of the range and that was kind of support, you know, we were looking for higher, right? We have all these levels up here. And it would be nice to see that get taken out at some point, but right now we just have to play what the market has given us. So we're in this range. I'm paying attention to this range. You know, let's see how far down from where we are now. So 2.5% move to this bottom of the range. So for there, you know, I would set an alert, guys, maybe at 25.2, right? And let's see if we want to pay attention to what the reaction is there. Okay. So I have an alert there. We also have this low from when that dump happened, right? And I have, you guys can see I've labeled it to keep it simple, SFP and SFP. So we have a swing failure at 27.9, or basically 28, and we have a swing failure at 23.9. So in my opinion, this is a dangerous market. Like,
Yeah.
you got to be cautious, very, very cautious, because if you guys were to take longs right now, you know, how far down is that? It's like 8 or 9%. It doesn't really give me a whole lot of confidence, right? So yeah, I've got some alerts set here. Again, it's more of just paying attention to how it reacts. Right now, US Open, they're selling it. They could bring it up towards the end of the session, and you know, usually for the weekend, there's going to be some pumps. That's where a lot of people get trapped. So how does that correlate into altcoins? So yeah, if you guys are seeing this real quick, if you guys want to mark those levels before I switch out of this chart here. But yeah, pay attention to this range here. I have a short alert at 26.626, basically towards the top of the range. I'd like to see that get hit, and my strategy is shorting altcoins, right? So kind of move down the list here. I've got a few tokens to talk to you guys about. So I did talk about Phantom and how I was going to add there, and I did. It actually hit the level, and you know, it's for me, this crazy wick down, I really don't like to consider that part of it, you know, drawing a trend line. So as these wicks are being created here throughout the week, I've kind of drawn out this potential trend line here. You guys can see that, right? So this could potentially be the bottom of the trend line for Phantom. And I also used the Lux Algo, and there is a order block on the 4-hour that has formed, right? So we've got the bottom of a trend, we have an order block. So if Bitcoin has a rise to 26.4, I'm seeing, so basically I drew a Fibonacci from, let me just show you guys here, from the top of this resistance line where we rejected to the bottom. And this also ties in with another order block here around 0.2121, 2121. So this little golden pocket here, as Dylan was explaining to you guys, this is kind of what I use, the 6-6 and the 6-1-8. I would like to see Phantom go up here as a temporary bounce, maybe this weekend. That's probably where I'm going to close it. And that could also be the potential entry for a short. So this is kind of a write it up, write it down. So if Bitcoin starts to tank, you know, probably will just cut this trade if it starts to get below this wick here. Yeah, I may cut that.
Yeah.
Again, things are bearish now with Bitcoin, so we have to play that mindset. So as far as the longs go, this is the only long I'm in still. Moving forward, Wazell, it hit the alert yesterday. I told you guys 12 cents. I had an alert here added to the position, so my average entry is at 11,699. You can see in this trend line here, it's like hanging in there. But as Dylan said, he's leaning bearish. I'm leaning bearish. The market is bearish. So I am still seeing a potential move down here. There's also a huge order block right here at 12.5. So this could also be a potential add situation. Caspa, right? So I've got many alerts here. We have this trend line. We have all these order blocks. I'm not in this trade right now, but and I've seen it many weekends, but we'll see Caspa pumps on the weekend, and I would like to. So I have an alert set here. Maybe have a starter position at 0.0367, which I have an alert right here. But this trend line, I'd like to maybe full size a short at the top of the trend line. So with the way the trend line is working right now, in the next couple of days, it'll probably get to this order block and stop, which is a 10% move to the upside if you guys do want to take that long. And it's incredible to see how it responded to the 618 a couple of days ago when that pump happened. It was literally to the T. I remember Simon was like, we're at the 618, we're taking the long, and it was a good long, and you guys made a lot of profit on that, like a 12% move. So we could see something like that again, right? It could touch the 618 and then bounce up like that. So let me get my brush. Right, so might see something like that, and then maybe up to here, right? So that's something I'm paying attention to. And from what I'm seeing, there could be bigger drops on Caspa. Again, it's a high performance token for the year. I think on the Banter bubbles, it's something ridiculous. Yeah, my laptop's acting slow, but yeah, you guys know Caspa is just pumped way too hard, and
I'm excited about a revenge Caspa short trade. I'm excited.
I would love to have like a swing long. So here, if we get here, I'm going to add, if we pump up here, or it could be a little fake out, drop some more longs. I'll add probably some more here. And yeah, I would love to potentially ride this thing down, maybe to the 786, 25% move. That would be a nice trade. Maybe take half, and then maybe
look, it's something to look forward to, and it's something to plan. Like, we're going to work for this entry. It might take a week or two to get it. So let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, patience is the key here.
Yeah, this is
situations like this. You had mentioned fetch, but I have an alert set here, around these order blocks, 25.5, 25-cent region. So if fetch decides to have a pump this weekend, I know it's bullish, but with the way the market is, with Bitcoin being bearish, this would be a good opportunity for sure. I think you also have
fetch is setting itself up for a retest and a push up. It broke trend, came back down, 382 trend, horizontal. It's teeing itself up for one more push. So a short idea on any strength is great.
Yeah, and then drawing this fib here too, basically touching the 618. So if there's a small little reversal here or some kind of short-term pump, this could also be a good long entry for those that maybe want to long it. So And then Link, you had talked about it too, but yeah, I have some alerts set up here for shorts at 6.25, and then this order block here, 6.42. Basically at the top of this wick here, you guys can see big order block as well. And yeah.
So
What else?
guys, yeah, we might have to wait.
Yep.
We might have to
Yep.
wait for the big ones. At least Bruce came to the party with a Tomo.
Well,
banger here.
I wouldn't write home about it yet. It's still being pretty weak.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just from what I'm seeing again, and also now looking at some of Dave's charts there, I want to see a bit lower on injective, AVAX. Yeah, AVAX it's in an interesting area. Optimism, I want to see lower. DYDX, I think we can get lower. GRT's lost, that's 618. Okay, so now we got to watch where the candle closes. Let me show you where we are on this guy. Okay, so GRT has now lost the 618.
Yeah.
This is the 4 hour. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. So we're going to see where this candle closes. I'd say if the candle sort of closes below, then we might have an opportunity here to get some kind of short going. Let's see how it finishes. If it closes on top, then it might be trying to just make its way back up. We're going to tie that in with BTC. Let's see where BTC is. Little wick retest here. Okay. But again, it's almost too slow, hey Dave. I like to see it as sort of a faster move. It's a problem for me. This.
Yeah, the slow bleeds.
Yeah, the leaks are harder to track and
because they come slowly, and then they capitulate you. And yeah, we prefer the fast move.
Yeah,
I must say.
Dylan, I've been following ever since you brought it up, or someone brought it up the other day, how Stacks mimics Bitcoin. Could you take a look at it? Because I actually started tracking the moves, the short that it's in right now. I'm just finding it really interesting.
Back in range, eh?
Yeah.
So it's lagging a little bit, but it's back
Yep.
in the range to where it was.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was looking at.
Okay, so for me, Stacks is a short on any moves up into here. So wherever that might come, I think you're going to get your opportunity there.
Yeah.
Unless something fundamentally starts changing with BTC, and then that.
Yep.
This is actually it's a very easy one to play and to wait for and plan. So these are your areas. These are your reaction zones.
Exactly. And the moves are decent, right? I mean, that move.
Yeah,
you're talking
this would
about
be a nice
10% move there.
size.
Yeah.
So if we get that push up, so we just want that strength into it, okay? Just to give us a chance to short. There's 9% there.
Yeah.
If you lose that area,
yeah, that's a nice
9%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put an alarm here.
Let's move on to my top 10.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think this is a nice one. Let's invert it quickly. It's a nice perspective. So if we were bullish, we'd say break, retest, and then go.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that was a good one. Guys, give us some tokens you want us to look at in the chat. And if anyone's watching YouTube, let's look at the YouTube one. Brett wants to see render. Let's do it. If anyone's watching the YouTube comments, let us know, and we can see what the guys in YouTube want.
BNB, DYDX, we did.
Oh yes, we need to do. Where's Jackie?
Holy cow!
We need Jackie to do some BNB for us. Okay, so render, nice. Also, just boxy. Playing the levels here. There's an alarm here for you guys on Discord. Okay, when it hits here, you'll get notified, and that could be your move that you're looking for on render. So this is the 12 hour. Let's just break it down a bit more. Okay, so yeah, I want to see it. I really want to just see it sweat out a little bit lower, and then we look for something here.
Yeah.
See where we go. That's my idea there. Again, if at any point in time over the next few hours it pushes back up and starts finding support, and BTC changes its mind, you know, you could be looking for that push up. But again, you've got to keep
Right
your
in that
eyes on
range.
BTC.
Yeah.
BNB, guys, let's try and tackle this BNB situation.
I don't know if we're qualified to do BNB.
Yeah, we need Jackie to take over here.
I mean,
Okay,
what do we got to do?
we just need to send it to 0. That's all we need to do.
Yeah.
At some point, it's going. Okay, so what have we got? We got a little rising channel here. Broke down.
Okay.
Okay, broke down. Retest. Interesting. Let's see where we got our rejection. I'm going to take a fib from that high, that low. We went through the 618. Okay, so it didn't have a perfect. We didn't have perfect Fibonacci there. We did have a horizontal though. We did have that. So this is the daily, guys. So this is a very high time frame. I'm going to zoom in and zoom out a little bit more. Okay, let's go on the weekly. I just want to get perspective again as to what we're looking at. So yeah, this area, this 184. I mean, once it loses this, guys, I think things will happen fast. I think the end of Binance, basically, when it's down here, sub 100 could be very interesting. There is this level here. This is weekly. Okay, so these are relatively strong zones. You can see this weekly pulls in all the way back there as well. Okay, so the zone it's in now is quite strong. It's quite a broad area, 217 to 203. Then there's nothing, and then we've got 190s and lower. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Let me clean up this. Okay, so we've got a trend we can deal with. The question about BNB, are they looking for anything in particular? Or do they want to be long? Do they want to be short?
Didn't say.
Okay. So here we go. Rangy, we can play with this.
Oh, short. I'm
That.
sorry. You're looking short. They're in the short.
Okay. Well, they're doing very well. And they could probably add to their short on strength up into this zone. 618 up there. Okay, so if this is the bottom and it bounces, this is 618 up there, okay, which could offer you a nice little rejection there as well. So let's look for that. And then we've got this lower region here to look for. Okay, so these are your 3 tiers you're dealing with. Let's see what we have in fibs over here, from the low to the high. Yeah, I lost that 618. Let's look at the stocks. Okay, so the 4 hours bottoming out. 1 hour's turning over. 8 hours not there yet. 12 hours coming down. Dailies coming down. So yeah, I mean, I'd say the trend is still down. 4 hour, you might get some kind of relief. Let's see, the last time we had a 4 hour reset was down here, and look what happened. Look at this. So just because the 4 hours at the bottom doesn't mean it's over. Remember, we've said this a few times now. Look at that guy. It drifted down while that 4 hour sat there. Okay, so we need to just keep an eye. You know, I like this type of move. So let's see what we get out of this here. Let's see how this plays out. Here's another example down there. What did we get? We got a tiny little move up. Okay, so yeah, play these areas. I would look for shorts on strength. I wouldn't really look for longs. I think, yeah, you want to be net. You want to be net short. I mean, we got a bit of that squeeze we were looking for. We were saying we wanted 240. We got it to what, 235. It's funny it didn't go harder than that, eh? I think now you want to be net short, I would say. Okay, what else we got, guys? Zen. What's it? Can we have a Tomo update? Kevin wants to see DYDX
It's still
and O.
still leak. It's just still leaking down a little bit.
Okay.
Not showing sign of strength. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull out of it and wait for a little bit. Just, the next entrance, if it doesn't hold, would be, for those listening, is 1.139 would be my next entry point if it continues down.
1.139. Okay, so are you out of Tomo now? Are you waiting?
Yeah, I pulled out of it. I don't like when it screws around with me like this. It's like, I'll just wait for it to settle down.
I like that, Bruce. I like that. Okay, so this is Gull. So this is some kind of support we've got here. I don't know what Gull is. I don't know if it matters. I don't know what it is or not. It doesn't look great. This looks funny. Well, not funny. It looks interesting. We've lost this trend.
Danny's got it right. Yeah, fuckery.
Okay, so we've got something going on here. It's not great. Okay, so I'm seeing a loss of trend. This is a support band here. We're losing the 382. There's our 618. That's nice down there. I like this. I like this region there. That looks like a nice area to do something in. And then a retest of the wicks. So watch this guy as well. So look for that. But I like this zone here. We've had strong buys there. 618 supporting it. Let's see if we've got any order blocks here. It's in an order block now. 12 hour. 20% order block. On the 4 hour. Yeah, so look, if it doesn't bounce here, I'm looking down here. Would I long from this zone right now? I don't think I would personally. It's lost this trend as well. I think it's worth waiting if you get the opportunity. I think it's worth waiting.
Yeah.
Let's see, you can also bang a trend in here. Okay, so maybe you get something like this. Like that could be nice there. And then you can also just, if it does break the trend and turn bullish at any time, you can play that guy. But this is not a high conviction bounce zone for me right now. I'm not feeling it that much. This is probably better. Okay, what do we got?
Can I comment on something you just said, since things are kind of slow still?
Yeah.
Because we did an AMA yesterday, and it was there were a lot of students in there, and usually we're talking about charts and setups, etc. But quickly the conversation turned to the psychology of trading, and people just started telling a lot of stories about how there's so much pressure from things like trading competitions and YouTubes, etc., to trade, that they have this sort of overwhelming FOMO. And so instead of looking for high conviction trades, like you just said, they look for a trade so they can be active, feel like they're doing something, and then spend a lot of time convincing themselves, looking for evidence, confirmation bias for trades that really aren't there, and are getting whacked by it.
It's totally over trading as well. It
Yeah.
happens to everyone. I mean, I'm sure you're guilty of it too. I mean, I do it as
God,
well
yeah.
sometimes. You feel like you feel like you have to be in a position, and you actually
Yeah.
don't. It's like
Yeah.
the best ones are the ones you work for and the ones you wait for. Sometimes you have to wait days to get the entry you want. Like this CAS thing, we're going to work for this CAS entry now. And we're going to watch this thing every day, and when it's right, we're going to strike, and we're going to get that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
So important.
Dave is on board. We're going to do this together.
That's exciting.
You know, the best trades are the ones you wait for. You pick your great areas or your high conviction areas like dot. Okay. Imagine we get dot down here. Remember how long I waited for AVAX for that bounce? Like I waited, I think 2 weeks for that. Dot, we might wait down there. There's good entries. You just got to wait for them. And let's see what we got. GRT, we might get an entry lower down if we're patient. DYDX, I don't know how we got.
Tomo is waking up now. So
Is it? Are you
Yeah.
in it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bruce is back in Tomo, everybody.
I'm back.
Pile in.
That's Helmo
We'll see.
party.
We'll see. Double party. Exactly. Well,
Okay, somebody
it
asked
might-
about
it might be the-
GMX.
it might be the we're all getting screwed together party, but I'm in it.
Somebody asked about GMX. So GMX is a DEX. I would think when the market is doing really badly, the DEX does badly because of trading fees and things, I would assume. I quite like the idea of a retest down here of this wick, somewhere there. I wouldn't rush into anything right now. The opportunity was there where we marked it the other day, that push into resistance. Now we're looking for lower. And you can see why this was quite a big resistance zone that I highlighted. There was resistance there as well. Support. So let's let GMX play out a little bit more. Once there is more structure as well, let's look on the 8 hour, for example. So let it do its thing. Let's see what we get out of it. We can play a trend break. We can play a bounce down here. Let's see what happens. Just hang around a bit on GMX. Okay, what else we got? Pepe. Has Pepe been repaired? Are they all friends again, the developers? Have they worked out their issues? Oh, this is a sure. It's like just hanging on here. What are we at? 81. There's not much left here. It's actually, I would almost go as far as to say it's lost this area. It's just hanging on. If you on OKX, because this is what I mean, let's see. Maybe we got something with better history. I was gonna say it's not looking good if it loses that. It's over. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, what's this? It's losing this area. Okay, so this is the area we marked. We've got a bounce, got another bounce, and now it's coming back down, testing the wick. I'd say it's over. If it loses this wick, it's over. Could be a great short on any strength here. But guys, remember this Pepe moves like very quickly up and down. The percentages are heavy. So if you're trading leverage, you've got to be very, very careful here, or at least give yourself a lot of breathing room. You know, just this tiny move up here is 10%. So you've got to be very accurate if you want to play leverage games with Pepe. Let's look for areas of interest. If you were looking for shorts, areas of interest, resistance bands, anywhere where you see lots of resistance. Okay, there's another one there. Let's mark this nicely for you. Okay, so just careful these zones. There's also this wick here. Okay, let's look at that. Yeah, so that's strong. You can see there's a 382 resistance here and some horizontals, so that's a nice one. And then 618 kind of floating around here. Something to watch though. Okay, so look at those areas. Just be careful. I mean, this is the last sort of area before literally potential zero. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone know fundamentally what's going on with Pepe? If you can let us know in the chats, please. Let us know if they've sorted it out, because we did see there was a fight and some guy tried to save the project. Oh, cyber, Abernay. Jeez, Abernay reminded us about cyber. This is one to watch.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Oh, look there. We got a little 382. No, we didn't get the 382. Didn't come back. No, it did come back. Okay. We got this pool here. Okay. So we did get a 382 bounce. Hopefully somebody got that. Okay. Now let's look at what we're dealing with here. It's broken through this uptrend. What's that? I wonder if this thing's going to be the new blue Zell that everybody likes. Do we know what this is, guys?
Yeah.
This is one of these you actually have to zoom in and play these little flag breaks on the 15 and on the 5. It's bullish like this. Wow. Jeez.
It's a payment provider.
Hmm.
That's being heavily pumped by the Koreans right now.
Okay, well, they do know how to pump a coin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how to build an entry here. Let's just think about this thing. I mean, you don't want to buy the pumps, obviously. You want to buy these moves back onto a trend. Now we've got two trends here. We've got these 15 minutes that we're dealing with, trying to squeeze higher. But then we've also got the main one that I'm looking at here. So I think that would be the main area to try and grab. Bruce, I know you love 15-minute setups. What do you see here? I like that. We're in this little channel. We're playing this channel game.
Sorry, I was muted. I will long the bottom of that channel till it stops working.
Yeah. Okay. Would you short this setup, or does
Nope.
it feel too bullish? What is your opinion?
No, I don't short uptrends.
Okay.
I just don't like fighting the river. Okay. So I'll wait for it to come back down. We test that. You got a nice horizontal level, you got a fib there, and you got the bottom of that channel, and that to me is a high confidence trade.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, guys, just because it's here doesn't mean now it goes forever. I mean, it could obviously.
You can see why on the chart. Look down at the previous short, and you can see why I don't do it. What basically, look, if you go down to the left, down left, look at this. Go up to the top of the channel. Right there, good. You see how it when it came down to the bottom of the channel, it effectively went kind of horizontal. Not that one, but the one before, one after it. I meant, right? The shorts on an uptrend tend to be weak. They tend to be horizontal, and like that right there, that would have been a great long, right? Just after that, yeah. And you got a distinctive move, so I don't bother with the shorts.
Okay, you see, it likes the 618, guys. Okay, look there. Okay, remember how Blue Zell used to dance on the 618? Okay, so let's be patient. Let's get the 618. Okay, so pull your 618 from the low there, and let's wait for this move into the 618. And if they give it to us, then we take it. Okay. Okay, that's very nice. So it's 9.39, somewhere around there. If you get that, that could be a great one. Nice one. Thanks for that.
Thank you, yeah.
social media token. Okay. So Muad'Dib says there seems to be a arb opportunity. Cyber is 14.7 on Upbit, 9.3 on Binance. Upbit is the Korean exchange. Okay. Just be careful. I tried that once, sending from one exchange to another. There was a token called Hot, and these guys are frantically messaging each other, saying, "Oh, Hot, there's a 25% discount on another exchange. Bought Hot, sent Hot to another exchange, and it turned out it was a different, same ticker, different token. The money disappeared. So just be careful." Okay, what else we got, guys? Let's do two more, and then we got to jump.
People asking about theta, if you got it.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Look at that. Okay, so we had that channel. We had that rising channel that we were looking at. This is concerning, but this was this news. There was that news with Google. I think there was theta news with Google, and it pumped. Something happened. So they would have rinsed everybody, but this was the idea. We were going to play this channel on theta. So let's see what we got on the 4 hour. I mean, that they really did sell the news. They sold the news properly there. Okay, so 4 hour needs to well, it actually has reset, but it needs a bit more time, I would think. 8 hours coming down, 12 hours coming down, daily's coming down. So 1 hour's moving up. So short-term potential move higher. But look, we said let's track this trend, and here it is. So we've hit our lows, we've hit our trend low. So I would expect some kind of move back now to try and push up higher. So that's one to watch. You can put stops there, under there. You can also put stops under there if you want to play trends. But the main level, and I've got an alarm here for you guys, 0.574. This low area here could be a nice one. Okay, so maybe we get some kind of reaction here. Maybe we get a move up, but I'm still feeling like the market wants to go lower after that. So my preferred area is this guy down here. Okay,
We're getting a lot of requests on MKR. I also saw that as a
Maker's been doing well
on the Banter bubbles earlier.
Yeah. Okay, so Uni's looking
Maker?
all right here. Isn't it a deck? Not a DEX. It's like some DeFi situation. Make a DAO or something. Ah, nice. It was moving yesterday. One thing looking good. Okay, this is a flag. We can play this flag. Let's go 1 hour. See what we're looking at here.
I'm getting alerts that shorts are getting liquidated right now, so might see this little market bounce now.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's take a look, guys. Let's look at BTC quickly. We'll go back to this now.
You can see it rejecting right off that trend line.
Lost my BTC. Okay, let's look. Okay, AVAX is still on support, holding. Cyber doing its thing. DYDX bouncing off trend. Bouncing off trend for now. Did try and touch the 50-day. DRT, strong candle. Let's see how it goes. Look at this candle. Okay, so now let's look. If it regains support up here, then we're back in this range and we're on. Okay, let's see how it goes. Curve lower down. Link, we're still rejecting at resistance. Joe still coming to hell for me. Matic pushing up. We might get our short opportunity. Okay, so let's Matic come up. We look for a short. Fetch, nothing to report. Render, let's look for the support here now. Okay, if we get a few candles on lower time frames, might get our support. Okay, let's look for that. theta. Let's look for that push up there.
Mhm.
Dot, yeah, I don't know, guys. Dot. It's really pushing the limits here. It's on that wick. Okay. So the ride up, we want to look for shorts. If you are long dot, you are 1.3% is your risk for the ride up. Let's see. Okay, so maker, let's look at this thing. Okay, we've got 50-day MA support. We've got some horizontal support here. Our maker was pumping yesterday. DYDX was strong yesterday. There were a couple of others. I'm putting a fib from this low here. This high, let's see what we got. Not helping me. Let's do that. Okay, so there is some kind of 382 support here on maker. Let's see what trends we have. Okay, we might have a trend retest here. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is not the worst looking situation here, maker. So we've got a trend break, we've got a trend retest on the 382 there, pulled from that low to the high. There is some horizontal here. There's the 50-day MA. So I don't mind this as a potential support buy. And you can put your stops underneath 1132. You could go underneath that wick there, 1126, or you could give it a little bit more breathing room, let it play around with this horizontal if it wants to dip lower. Let's see. Yeah. It's not the worst. It's not the worst, but it needs to remain bullish, obviously. Let's see. Let's zoom out of this situation. See, that trend is there. Okay, so there's the main guy, your 618, your trend, your horizontal. That's a nice one. But let's see how that 382 goes. If you want to do some trading. Okay, so that 50-day is basically holding maker up right now there. Okay, guys, one more. Did we say two more? We said one more. Okay, maker, we did FTM 4-hour candle brought back into trend. Kyle, let's take a look. I think David, you must be smiling.
Which one? Well, Banter, yeah.
FTM apparently. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, guys, the plan is still the same. The plan is unchanged. Look for a push higher. So this was the one I added in the Discord. There's a possible 382 rejection here that we can look for. And then I've got an alarm higher up here. So any bigger moves into this got an alarm. Okay, that's one to watch. Let's have one more look at BTC. Okay, there we go. You see, we got our wick test. Look at that. Okay.
Mhm.
But they brought it up nicely. Okay, so guys, this is the situation we were speaking about. They come and they test that wick, and we saw those alts weren't that affected. The alts was pretty much in the same area when BTC was on that 618, and that's why we're saying we've got to look at dominance and we're going to watch these alts. And it wicked down, try to push everybody out, and now it's pushing back up. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yep.
Let's see if it reclaims
so
the
it's exactly
618.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so again, we watched the alts on support while BTC's diving. Look at AVAX, it held. Okay, GRT. Okay, Link still chilling. Joe probably coming back down here, 28. Okay, render again, just hanging on, just hanging on. Look at this wick down here.
Yep.
Okay, so we lose that, guys. This is the main area, 1.259. And just like Bruce was saying, and it was an excellent question that he answered the other day, like there is no pressure to be in a trade. You shouldn't feel that pressure to be in a trade if it doesn't feel right to you. You know, like I was saying at the start of this, when we started streaming now, I just wasn't feeling right. I didn't have high conviction. And again, BTC is going to dictate this whole story to us. I had much higher conviction if BTC came back and actually held our support there. You know, I'd have been very happy if it even held this area here, the 26.3 that me and Jay were talking about for so long that we wanted it to hold. Didn't hold that. Okay, so now the playing field has changed, and we've got to work with what we're looking at here. So I'm just, yeah, for now I'm cautious. If I want to be long and like giga long stuff, I want BTC up, I want it retesting support, and then I want it pushing again. So yeah, just play it easy. I think these are opportunities now to short strength, unless there's some catalyst in the market in the next few days. I don't know what's going to drive it up. We need to figure out what the next hype is going to be that pushes the crypto market. How's our stocks doing? Let's look at some of these stocks quickly.
Dow's up 189. Nasdaq's up 36. And S&P's up 19.
Okay. The regular RSI on this.
No. It's a
Okay, so nothing
heavy
to
duty
report
resistance right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a 786. But we
Yeah.
do have this little gap that I wanted to see them close here. And then we do have that area up there, 4636. But this is just it's fib resistance here. Okay, guys, I think let's call it. It's Friday. Let's have a great weekend. Don't overtrade. Don't get chopped up. Look at the cyber while we're talking. I mean, this is ridiculous. Try not to chase that candle. It's tempting, obviously. Just try not to. Wait for the move back. Look for pull some fibs. Look for support. Just play it cool. Yeah, take it easy. I'm not going to be trading much this weekend. I'm just chilling. Let's see how things play out here. If you're desperate, go to the Discord, look at the supports that we've got, see what ties in, what works for you. Otherwise, wait for the shorts, wait for the new areas if we get them. Okay. If not, we are on Monday, and we'll talk through it again. And Monday we'll find some more entries. Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah,
exactly.
cool, guys. Okay, we'll see you later. Have a good
Thank
weekend,
you, everybody. Trade
Yes, great
safe. Have a
show.
great weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao, ciao.